What is up? Today's workout is thanks to my buddy Nate. Just did this one this morning at his gym. We are going to do 21 deadlifts, 15 kipping pull-ups, 9 front squats from the floor at 135 per time. We are going in 10 seconds. Well, back at her again. Like I said, shout out to my buddy Nate. Shot me a text this morning of the workout that they did at his CrossFit gym, and had to give it a go. Nate, thank you for doing that. I love getting these workouts from you. So this is another one of the girls' workouts, one of the CrossFit benchmark workouts. Bell, I haven't heard of this one actually. So we went for it. The RX version was at 185, which was obviously not happening. So a little friendly competition. Nate said he did it at 135, so I figured I'd give her a shot. It was kind of interesting going into this. I tried to do a little bit of thinking ahead of time in terms of how I was going to break this thing up, because I had a feeling I was going to start blowing up on something. The front squats were going to be heavy. Sometimes, like, with not necessarily lifting a super heavy load, but just moving, even a modest load across a handful of reps can really start catching up, at least catching up with me. So initially I think I planned to go 12-9 on all the rounds of deadlifts, and then I ended up just going unbroken on the first round, and the pull-ups were really where I blew up. I just don't have strong pull-ups. Frick, I don't have strong anything, but I struggle with pull-ups. I used to be better at them. I don't know why I've fallen off. Like, used to meaning like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, better at them. So I went 5-5-5 on the first round, 5-5-3-2 on the second round of pull-ups, and then I had to switch to just singles, and I was just doing jumping pull-ups on the last round, which probably slowed me down a little. Speaking of the time though, I set my timer, at least I thought I set my timer to give myself like a 1 minute and then to start, and so it played out the 1 minute, and then it just didn't start the next clock. So I didn't know where I was. Right there is where I noticed it. So luckily I was recording it on video, obviously, so I was able to go back afterwards and see how long this took. So I tracked my rounds throughout this, and I got slower. Came out pretty good, sub 3, and then 3 something, and then just over 4 on the last one. So this was a good push. I was definitely feeling the kind of CNS fatigue afterwards for the remainder of the afternoon. I was fasted when I did this. I think it was like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I hadn't eaten yet, which, whatever, it's no big deal. I'm used to working out fasted, but yeah, I had low energy the rest of the day, but I was feeling good. This is a wicked workout, so I'm pleased with that. I can't help but think that I push myself, but not all the time. I do find that there's a qualitative difference sometimes when I get these workouts, whether it's just a workout of the day on the CrossFit.com site, or if it's one of these workouts, a class workout. The intensity is a little bit higher. The loading tends to be more than I will do, I think, is where I especially notice it. Particularly when I've got the workouts with the guys, the loading can't be very high because, well, the loading just can't be very high. So I think by default I don't lift a ton of heavy weight in workouts. If I'm doing a squat cycle or deadlifting like on its own or something, then I'll lift heavy. But in workouts, these are really good for me because I don't think I'm really accustomed to doing this. So yeah, this is a good one. I did a 3K run yesterday. I took a couple of days off midweek, so we came out. Oh, I didn't actually. Maybe I mentioned it in the last video, but no, I didn't. So on Monday night, we did. Who came over? I had Jordan and Kyle came over, and we decided to go to the elementary school in our neighborhood here, and because they have about a 550 meter track, and so I got a sled recently, but I can't pull it on the turf yet because it's all beat up on the bottom. I got to use, so I don't want to damage the turf. So we brought it out to the field, and we brought a couple of kettlebells, the 53s, and some plates, and we loaded up the sled. And so our workout was basically run one lap. So it's a 550 meter lap. So run a lap, and then we decided to do a 250 meter sled drag reverse sled drag, like walking backwards. And that was a good call because the full track would have been just deadly. I think I had, 245s and a 25 on there. So 90, 115, and the sled itself probably weighs 45. So maybe it was like 160 pounds or something. And geez, that was hard. And then carrying the 253-pound kettlebells, farmer carry style around the track. Then carrying a 45-pound plate overhead around the track. And then the hardest one by far was, well, the most time-consuming one was we did walking lunges all the way around the track. And that was so time-consuming. I cannot believe how long lunges take. I just never do like a million lunges, right? So that took like 24 minutes on its own. It was nuts. The runs around took like 2.5, but the other movements, the kettlebells, the plate overhead, and the sled drag were all in between 8 and 9 minutes. So those even felt like a while, like 8 or 9 minutes of holding those two kettlebells. Like that's brutal. Or holding a plate overhead, it was tough. But the lunges, dude, man, it was hard. It was hard, but it was more just time consuming. You just go so stinking slow. So anyway, that was a brutal workout. That took us like 55 minutes. It was kind of hero workout style. Like it just never ended. It was a grinder. So that one kind of surprised me. I thought we were going to do it way fast. I wasn't expecting the lunges to take so long. So I thought it would take us like 35, 40 minutes, which was already long, but it ended up taking us nearly an hour, which was crazy. The next day that was the video that I posted. I did Grace 30 clean and jerks per time. Just a quick one. And that was like less than 3 minutes, so that worked out well. And then I took a couple of days off and then got out last night just for a quick run. I decided I was going to go for a 3K. And again, I keep doing this. Like I tell myself, maybe it's just mental to make it easier for me, but I tell myself I'm not going to get crazy. I'm just going to do like a 6-minute pace, something like that. But at the first kilometer, it was like a 4:40 pace. So I said, all right, let's go. And then the next one was a little bit slower, 4:49. And then my third kilometer was pretty fast. It was like a 4:20 pace. So something like that. I finished the 3K in 13:55, which if I held that pace for the full 5K, that would have been a 5K PR. So I was tired by the end of it. Maybe I could have held it for another 2K. I wasn't warmed up or anything. I just went for it, right? So I imagine that if I gave myself the proper space, I could beat my 5K for sure. So yeah, but anyway, that was the workout, man. It was tough. It was tough. It was a good grinder, and I appreciate Nate for letting me give me the inspiration. So that's a wrap, boys. Oh man, that's hard. I went unbroken on the deadlifts first round, then 555 on pull-ups, and 6'3" on the front squat. Oh mercy, that was hard. I blew up on the pull-ups. Had to go to singles on the last round. I made up time doing the last 9 front squats unbroken. That's okay. My timer didn't go off right, so I don't know what time I got, but I'm sure I put it somewhere. Oh, sweet mercy. Right on.